I'm going to run you through the best way to grow an engaged, profitable email list for your business. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've tried recently that haven't worked. On the surface, they look like they have, but I'm going to explain why they have been, in my opinion, and objectively failures. And I'm going to run you through the better way to grow your email list so that you can have more buyers, more profit for your business. Things that I'm going to look through. So first of all, we'll do the very basics. Why would you bother with an email list? What's the point? In the age of TikTok and YouTube Shorts, is it really worth it? We'll talk about why it is. Is quantity or quality the best approach for your email list? You just want 100,000 people? Or is it better to have 100 people who are very high quality leads for your business? I'll then run you through a couple of things I've tried that haven't worked so well recently. And then we'll get on to a detailed run through of the best way to grow your list quickly and that generates profits for your business. Okay. So let's first look at why bother growing an email list. A lot of people will think now, is it really worth it? I can go and I can grow an audience on TikTok, on X, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. And these places have an embedded user base. There's already hundreds of millions of people on these platforms every single day. And as long as I can create good content, well, that's all I've got to focus on, good content, I can share it on that platform. And it'll push it out and I'll grow an audience and it's wonderful. We're going to talk about why that isn't the case. Email list is the most profitable asset for your business, bar none. And this is why. And this is why it beats all of those platforms that have all of those built-in audiences and that ease of sharing on there. Essentially, when you're sharing on those platforms, you are the product, or the user is the product, and it's their attention that is monetized. Selling something to somebody is not really what they care about. What they care about is keeping people on the platform and keeping them engaged. That's what your job as the creator is, to create content that keeps them engaged. You do that, who gets the money? The platform gets the money. They might give you a little kickback, a small percentage of what the advertisers pay them. But really, you're creating content to make that platform wealthy. When you have an email list, it's so much better because you own that relationship and you can monetize it in whichever way that you want. You can then sell ads to that audience. And you can be the person who kicks back 10% to whoever. You can sell products directly, which is my preferred method, to that audience. You own that relationship. You can do what you want with it. You can monetize that in 101 different ways. You can sell access to the audience. You can try and sell products that are not yours to the audience and get an affiliate commission. You can sell your own products to that audience. You own the relationship, and so you can do what you want with it. The bigger that list is, the more opportunities you have to sell. If you have a huge list, people will pay you more to be in front of that list. If you sell products, that's more sales opportunities, the more people who are on that list. We'll get to quantity and quality in a second. But essentially, that email list is a list of relationships with people that you own directly, and it can't be taken away. So that's the next really important thing when it comes to email marketing and why it's so important. Let's say you go out and you produce a ton of content for Instagram and you manage to amass an audience of 100,000 people on Instagram, right? And they're reasonable engagement. There's a couple of problems with that. First, when somebody's on Instagram, most of the time they're going to be looking through images of their friends, booty pics, whatever. They're going to be looking at all sorts of things. Their brain isn't in, oh, I'm going to buy this mode, especially if you're not selling like low-cost e-commerce products. If you're selling information and things, you've got to have like a really good ad and approach to get that done. So it's hard to control that in terms of the sales relationship. And at the same time, just go to any of these platforms and just look for account suspended. What you'll see is, I got my WhatsApp account suspended. Please answer my complaint. I've been suspended on Instagram for 180 days. Suspended, I've been trying to do that, yeah. All of these people, my main account and the second one I literally just created. So imagine if you're trying to sell through any of these things, why they don't understand why it's suspended. They can't get the help. Essentially, the platform, Meta, if it's Facebook and Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, if they decide, do you know what? We don't like the content that you're producing, they will ban your account. And when they ban your account, you have no recourse really there. It's you can try and go through support, but it's really on them. They can make that decision. And if that's your primary method of making money, it's gone. That person who we just looked at, their account was banned for 180 days. If you on that count were making $100 a day by promoting products through that Instagram account, 180 days, that's 180 times $100 that you have lost because Instagram's gone. We don't fancy it. We don't like you doing this. You don't own the relationships. The people who own the relationships, the platform on which you are publishing, and they can do what they want with that relationship on your behalf. They can cancel it, they can remove it, they can block it, they can throttle it. We've all seen it happen. It's the life sort of line of these platforms. They start off and they help you push loads of reach, and then once they get to a certain level, they bring in ads and they reduce organic reach so that you have to pay for it, and then they further reduce it, and so it becomes less viable for organic marketing. They own those relationships. They do what they want. They do what's in that platform's best interest, not what's in your best interest. But if you can collect those email addresses, you can do what you want with it. You own the relationship and you can continue to market to those people. And then if you can't make it work, really, with email, it's a skill issue. You can't blame your lack of reach and your lack of sales on the algorithm not liking a particular post. You have the email address. You can send them a letter, essentially. And it's up to you to create a good subject line to get them to open, a compelling message to get them to click through, and then a compelling sales page to get them to buy. It's a skill issue, and skill can be learned. There's no real external factor here. It's not like there's an algorithm that's going to decide you've got an email list of 10,000 people, but I'm actually only going to send it to 1,000 people. And then you've got the regular open rates and CTR issues to deal with past that, which is what happens with social media algorithms. The platform decides how much reach that's going to get based on early engagement indicators and all of this sort of stuff. If you can't make sales on email, it's a skill issue, and that can easily be learned and taught. So you'll reach sales and unsubscribes. That's all within your power to a degree. But if you get better at writing email copy that sells, you can make way more money, which is why an email list is the most profitable asset for your business. You own it. You can learn how to make money from it. It can't be taken away from you. It is the best thing and the most important thing that you need for your business right now. All of the social audience and stuff are feeders for your email list. They're not the end goal. They're a feeder to your email platform so that you can grow the email list. Let's look at quality versus quantity. Now, I've worked with people of all different sizes. I've worked with people who have got email lists and audiences of 50,000 people, and they struggle to clear like $1,000 a month off that thing. Because what they have is a huge list of very low quality people. And by low quality people, I mean that they're not aligned with the products that are being offered. They don't really engage. They're not really that interested in the topic that you are focusing on. Could be multiple different things, but essentially it's very low quality. And so what happens is that they're very busy talking to this list, marketing to this list, but they just can't generate sales. And at the same time, I've worked with other people who have very small lists and are able to generate more than a full-time income because that list is populated with the right kind of people. For example, recently been working with somebody, when we started working together, they had an email list which they generated on Substack, and it was 150 to 175 people, somewhere around there. Within a couple of months, we'd managed to run a couple of promos, got a couple of small ticket sales, and then we were pushing their consulting stuff, which was $7,500 a month. And within a couple of weeks of promoting that, about 6 weeks, we now have 3 people who are paying this to them. It's over 20 grand a month. From a list that started off at 150 people. It's now a little more, but not by much. So you're talking just over 200. Why is that possible? Because the list that they've built is very much aligned with the product that they offer. They're high value people in terms of it's aligned with that offer. They have the money to pay for it. They have the pain problem that this person can solve. So when you have all of it's a very high quality list and you can sell them products and make a ton of cash off it. It's not about the list size, it's about the list quality. Now, of course, in an ideal world, you'd have this density of customers within your list in a list of this size, and that is the end goal. But don't think that you need to have a list of 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 plus people to really make money. What you need is a small list to start with, of highly interested people who really need what you offer. If you have a small list of high value people, you can make good money in a very short period of time. So then let's imagine, right, tomorrow you start an email list. How do you then get these high value people? It's a couple of different ways, right? So the first thing that everybody always likes to talk about is like newsletter swaps. Oh, I've got a newsletter, it's got 500 people. You also have a newsletter, it's got 500 people. I know, why don't you say to your email list, hey, check out Jim over here. Jim's got a really cool email newsletter that they send out. And you do the same with your list. You say, hey, why don't you check out my friend Julie's got a really cool list, check her out. Julie promotes Jim, Jim promotes Julie. They write an email and there's a link in there, which is this red thing. And it says, hey, check out this other newsletter. And they do the same thing. Wonderful. And there are tools for this, which Letter Growth is one, where you can just find these other newsletters. The thing is, if you actually, I think MailChimp's got some good stats I was looking at the other day, yeah. There's a couple of things with this. You're only ever really going to lock in a newsletter swap with somebody who has a similar size newsletter. When you're small, let's say you got 500, let's move to there. Say you got 500 people on your list, you're going to be able to lock in newsletter swaps with similar size people, 500 to, let's just say 1,000 people. Okay. And then they'll promote this thing to you, and the average click-through rate, because that's what we're caring about, 2.66%, according to MailChimp's study on this. So 2.66%. Let's just call that, for argument's sake, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and we'll go 3%. So we got a 3% click-through rate. So you got 500 people. It's 15 people. 3% of 500 is 15 people. That's 15 people who don't join your list, who click on the link to check out your list. You might then get, let's be generous and say a 50% click-through rate. You've gone through this for 7 subscribers on this list. And of course, if you're doing this with massive lists, if they've got 50,000, you can talk about you're going to get 1,500 people coming through. But it's really not that much because there's a lot of steps in that chain. There's a lot of places that this can go wrong. And I've recently done maybe 6 of these, and it has, and we're talking with lists that are thousands of people, and it's driven very few signups. And I'm giving away like a really high value, free piece of information, and yet it's driving very few signups. These are great in theory, newsletter swaps, but I think there are probably better ways to do it than most people do it. You'd need like a long-standing agreement where every week you're going to promote something. You're going to be paid sponsorship so that you have a real big featured area within and they can't miss it, rather than a simple link. That to me is probably the better way to do this, but generally speaking, newsletter swaps just haven't worked. Another method that I use, which worked really well to add, each time that I did this, it added a couple of, anywhere from, it was 800 was the lowest one that we did, to I think like 2,000 subs when we were doing viral giveaways. Now, if you're not aware, viral giveaways are where you'll have, this is creator number 1, this is creator 2, and this is creator 3, and you'll have this all the way up to one of the ones that I was in that did really well. It's about 8 or 9 creators, and basically everybody puts one of their products in, and people will enter like a viral giveaway, and somebody will win all of these products. So if there's 8 products, they'll get access to 8 things for free as the winner. It's almost like a lottery, right? And you put your stuff in here, and then basically on the page where they enter this viral giveaway, there'll be a thing at the bottom which says something like, by entering this, you agree to be on the email list for creator 1, creator 2, creator 3, creator 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many people. Popular tool that I've used is UpViral. Really good tool to really make this sort of like very easy. And you get these things, right? I know there's something on here. Yeah, so it's subscribe on YouTube, follow Messenger, yeah. But there are ones where it's, oh look, sign up to join, and there's an email form that you can join up, and then you can get them to take these other actions to grow your YouTube, Messenger, all of this stuff. And the idea is that the law of that, say, if each person is doing a $1,000 product that they're giving away for free, the person, they're applying to get, and let's just say there's 8 people, $8,000 worth of product for free. Who wouldn't want to just join an email list or enter a giveaway for that? What I found with this is 2 things. The one where we got 800 leads, we were actually given 1.2 thousand leads. 400 of the leads were not viable. Like, ran them through a tool to see if they're actual real emails and if it's going to be something that I should add to my ESP, my email service provider ConvertKit. And 400 of them basically came back like, nah. And what that is a lot of the time they will have in here, you can get more entries. So instead of 1 entry, you can get another 5 entries, or you see plus 5 entries, plus 6 entries, plus 8, plus 7, plus 5 by referring a friend. And so what you'll end up with is people were adding really peculiar info@businessname.com email addresses to these to try and pad their numbers. So I'm sure that they're the one there and they're just going through it and they're adding either email addresses at their business or email addresses that they know don't really actually count for anything, just to try and pad their numbers. So a lot of the leads that you end up with this are unusable, but then you're thinking, I still got 800 leads from a viral giveaway coming through. Those are 800 people that I can continue to then market to. 400 of them may be bad emails that would bounce, but I've still got 800 left. That's a win. I'm giving away something that it's not really going to cost me anything because it's already created as a course, but 800 people. Brilliant. What I've noticed is, for the viral giveaways, the first thing, the unsubscribe rate for these people is so high. You got to be careful. You don't want just like massive droves of your email list unsubscribing, because it's a bad indicator in terms of the quality. And I think that's because they sign up for this giveaway, and then the day that the giveaway ends, they get an email saying, hey, sorry you didn't win the giveaway. Here, check out my paid products from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 8 people. So like, I didn't subscribe to these people, even if it's a well-aligned offer. What I found with them is the number of sales that I get from, say, this 800 people, let's just say it's like 1,000 people here. If there was 1,000 people in, I'm getting like single-digit sales or double-digit from 1,000 people who have expressed an interest in getting a product. Me then offering them a similar product, a much lower entry fee, like a Tripwire product, I should be able to get a few dozen sales. And when you're only getting between 1 and 10 or 1 and 20, you're thinking, hold on, what's the value of these leads that I've been given? Giveaways might bring a lot of these leads, but they just don't seem to buy. There are people interested in getting free stuff from you. And that is when you end up with this email list here, big list of low quality, rather than a small list that's high quality. So I've gone off the idea of viral giveaways. Yes, it's an easy way to add lots of people to your list. And if you can maintain good engagement, it's probably a good way if you're selling ad space, because you can then say, oh, we've got 50,000 people who read the email. But if you're trying to sell product, really isn't a good way. It attracts freebie seekers. It attracts a lot of spam accounts that you then have to sift through. It's just not a great way to add actual buyers to your list to get a high quality list. So those are 2 things that I've been trying quite extensively recently and just hasn't worked. So what does work, and what I think is the best way to grow your list, and essentially this way is a completely free way to grow your list, or more accurately, it is the opposite of free, as in it's paid. You pay, but you actually make more money back. So rather than paying to grow your list, you're getting paid to grow your list. And the only limits on this, in terms of how big and how quickly you can grow your list, is how well you can create an offer and how brave you are with scaling it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So past 30 days, I've added 906 people to my email list. It's not the biggest numbers out there by any measure. There are people out there who are killing this in terms of numbers. This is a very modest thing. Let's move that out of the way so it's not confusing. If you've seen any of my videos, I build all growth models around this ACA model. Basically, this helps simplify it, stops people from doing too much, and gives them focus to get tangible results in their business. And when you build the whole model, rather than just focusing on, hey, look, do SEO. And it's like, all right, cool, I've done SEO, but how do I get customers? I've got traffic, but now how do I get customers? You're focusing on the whole model. What I like to do and what works is actually don't go to a capture in this model, because this is a model for me to grow an email list that's high quality. High quality in my mind is people who will pay me money. If they will pay me $5, I know that they'll pay me 10. If they'll pay me 10, they'll pay me 20, so on and so on. And that's how you actually make money. So what I do, really simple, here is some kind of ads. I use Facebook ads at the minute and starting on some YouTube ads soon. That goes through to a low-cost product. Then only people who buy the low-cost product come through to the email list. It really is that simple. You can do this the other way. You can give away a free lead magnet and then try and get them to buy after that. But I just like to cut out that middleman and say, I want to grow my list, but I only want to grow my list with high value people who are willing to pay for assistance, because that's what sustains my business. I like working with serious people, so I want to identify those serious people ASAP. Facebook ads to a low-cost product, that gets them on the email list, and then on the email list, I can do all of this other stuff where I earn the relationship, I can continue to try and make sales, all of this. How do you actually do this though? Because Facebook ads are not cheap. And for me, I pay about $30 to attract one customer. And a low-cost product, so you're thinking, all right, cool. So if I just charge $30 here, that would be good. Maybe not. $30 might then move this from $30 acquisition to $50. So you build a very simple self-liquidating front-end offer. It's what a lot of people call it, SLO, self-liquidating offer. What that means is this pays for itself, in the sense of this pays for the ads which add people to your email list. And what happens then is you put $1 into ads, and thanks to this offer, you get at least $1 back. So you have paid, when that person buys, $0 to get a new email subscriber. But that email subscriber is worth so much more than from a giveaway, from a newsletter swap, because this person is willing to give you money. And as I said, if they pay you once, they'll pay you again. Now, there is a little bit more complexity to building this front-end offer, and that is that it never works out the way that you want it. What will probably happen is you'll probably have something like a $7 offer here, but to acquire one customer, you might pay $20. So that means that you're going to get one email subscriber, and that one email subscriber is actually going to cost you $13. If you're looking at adding 100 or even 10, you're looking at 130, 100, 1300. And it's like, hold on, this is unsustainable. I can't keep doing this. That's where this front end, this is how self-liquidating offers actually work. So let's just say you're paying 30 on ads. Your $7 offer, you build a bump offer. I should say bump. A bump offer. And 30% of people will also take the bump offer. Then you also have an upsell offer, a second product that you sell on this as well. And here about 15% of the people will take that. What you end up with here is, if you just left it as this, the average order value, the amount of money that you will get per customer who comes through, will always be $7. Now, the way that you build this out, it will then change things. So if you're paying $30 on ads, if you did this, $747, $197, you'd probably have an average order value of not far off. I actually have an AOV calculator that I created for my audience. Let's run these numbers. So $747, 197. If we take some lower engagement rates, that's going to get you $42 on average per customer. I personally like to get this up to around 70. There you go. This is what I try and do. Anywhere where it's in the green range, these are all color coded. If you're in the Growth Models Plus community, you get access to all of these kind of sheets to help you manage all of this. But yeah, that's how you raise the average order value. So you're more confident putting this money into ads to grow the email list because you're not going to lose money. And that does two things. It allows you to slowly grow a list of high quality leads because these people are customers. They're not freebie seekers. They're not window shoppers. These are people who are going to pay and take action on what they've done because they're putting their money where their mouth is. And once you find the right offer and the right approach, you can start to really just scale this up. And that small high quality list just grows and grows and grows and grows. And before long, it's a large list with high quality. That is the essential way, and what I found to be the best way of how to grow a big engaged email list. When people are paying to be on the list, they open more, they click more, they respond more, and they buy other products. All of this stuff over here, this is like quick wins, newsletter swaps. It's low effort. Anyone can do it. And that means that the value that it provides to you is very low. Anyone can quickly throw up a viral giveaway. You go out and buy $100 worth of books and then say, hey, if you enter this, I'll give you $100 worth of books on whatever topic your email list is about. Great. People are going to come in. You're never really going to be able to sell these people anything because these are the kind of people who come in and they're just like, oh, where's my free stuff? So you end up with this big list of low quality leads. The better way, control it. Control how this works. Understand the economics of buying leads for your business and build out a self-liquidating front-end offer over here. Something that takes somebody from a complete stranger to a paying customer, and that covers the spend that you've made to bring them in. And usually, like I said, for me at the minute, so my current funnel is, it's not that, it's, I think that's right. I think that's what it is at the minute. I've just changed it. So yeah, I think this is it. So my potential order value, if somebody buys everything, they'll pay me $396. On average, I make, actually, it's a little less than that currently. It's about $67. But I'm paying $30. So for every person who comes through, I'm making on average like another $35. So if I can get a couple of customers per day, I'm making a couple of $100 per day in profit. But at the same time, growing this list of high quality people, which allows me to make more money later on by selling them more products. That is how you grow a high quality email list. I have not found a better way to have full control over the people that you're bringing in. The people that you also then bring in are much higher quality because you know that they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. They're serious enough to pay for help, which means that they'll pay you for more help. All of these other things where it's like newsletter swaps, very low engagement rate, very low success rate. Viral giveaways will bring you a ton of people, won't be able to sell them anything. Or those people that you do, they're very like low numbers of people who you can actually sell to. A self-liquidating offer is, in my opinion and my experience, the best way to grow an email list. Start slow. You'll add maybe 1 or 2 people per day, and then you can scale that up once you've nailed on the right thing. And you'll just basically increase the size of the list, but you'll maintain a high quality, which is everything that you need to really take control of it. And when you've got a high quality list, it 100% is the most profitable asset for your business. That's how you do it. If you want help with this, go to growthmodels.co. Check out the website. There's a bunch of stuff, especially if you join the email list or the community, growthmodels.co/community. We've got a bunch of stuff to help you actually set this kind of thing up so that you can actually grow a profitable email list. And then from that, make it really more profitable and have like really high margins by selling this high quality email list more stuff. Any questions, drop them in the comments, but best of luck. If you've not already started your email list, get going on it now. Genuinely, it will be the best thing you ever do for your business. Speak soon.